Um, yeah, I have a back-to-back class. So yes, I'm back again with business studies, Edexcel AS. So today we start a new chapter. Again, we were supposed to have this class yesterday, but I had to postpone it because of some emergency. But then we're back today. So today we start with chapter 18, leadership. It's a very exciting chapter. Uh, I've designed it this time. I have designed the lesson in a different way, which will, of course, make the lesson fun and engaging. We'll talk about everything. Yeah, and this has around, I think, 40 slides. We will finish 20 slides, okay? And there's no lesson objective for this lesson. I have done it purposely just to keep things exciting, okay? So let's go ahead. If you have any question down the line, you can comment, right? And I will reply to your comment as soon as possible. So yeah, sometimes it may take longer because I'm teaching, you know. So yeah, so let's start. Let's get on with this leadership. So, first of all, leadership again, it's a very common term. It's a very overused term, overused word. So, what do we understand leadership? So, so does management and leadership mean the same thing? Okay. Let's talk about it. Yes, somewhat yes. And according to Henry Fayol, he said that uh, managers or leaders, they do certain things, okay, like they predict the future, what is going to happen in the future. They will plan, they will organize resources, they will command, they will make people do the work, and then they will coordinate activities, okay. so uh, so this is leadership, and you know that management also does almost the same kind of thing, okay. So management and leadership, they are interconnected. So yes, and leaders, they can predict the future, what is required in the future. Jeff Bezos started Amazon 25 years back, and he could predict the future, that in the future there will be online stores, and we know we are still opening online stores now, but he did that 20 years back. He did that 25 years back, actually, right? So he could predict the future. He did some planning. He organized the resources, right? To come to this level. And he asked people, he commanded people to do jobs, coordinated activities. But however, there can be a distinction. There can be a difference between management and leadership. Management is more involved with uh, management is more involved with making things happen, okay, on the ground level. They will make sure, they will implement all the ideas, and leaders are the one who think about the ideas. They are more creative people, right? They will come up with new ideas. They will arrange the resources. They will find solution to the problem. So there is a certain distinction. Managers will manage everything. Manage, right? Manage is implementing the idea. So the idea itself can come from entrepreneurs, and then the implementation, যেন আইডিয়াটা কাজ করে, ওইটার জন্য ম্যানেজার are responsible. But then again, entrepreneurs are also responsible for the implementation of ideas. We've seen that. But then this is a distinction that you can make. If you haven't understood, please make sure you write it down here. So yeah, I hope you like the new designs of the slide that I've designed it yesterday. I've also posted in my story. I took a lot of time and designed it. So leaders will have a crazy idea, let's say an idea about making a car that flies, I'm just saying. And then I will have some managers who will make that happen, go into production, manage the resources, look at different things. See, look after day-to-day operations. So this is the distinction between management and leadership, I would say. Right, so leaders are visionaries. Okay, they can predict the future, they can see the future. Okay, leaders are motivators. Okay, they will motivate people, they're good speakers. They will always perform their best and motivate people. But managers are not always that. Okay, leaders, they carry the process of change. Whenever there's a change, they will carry that change on their head, on their shoulder. Okay, and whenever there's a problem, there's a chaos, they will find solution to the problem. They will not give up, they will bounce back. Right, they will look at different possibilities. Right, they will never give up. Look at all leaders. The leader that I love the most or admired the most, I would say Steve Jobs, the founder, the co-founder of Apple, and he passed away back in, I think, 2012 or 13, 12, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. And and a lot of things has happened to him. He was kicked out of his own company, but he never gave up. Real leaders are those who never gives up, even at the times of uncertainty and adversity. Right. Yeah, they will always be able to see minute details. They will always be motivated, whether they're making money or not making money. It's funny. Um, when everything is wrong, they will feel within them that yes, we will make it big, and you'll find them stupid. You'll find them ki bole, hi, ki bole gula. And yeah, I have met this kind of people that who are so optimistic, and they are true leaders because they are visionaries. They can see the future. Okay, and they know that they have the capability to change the situation. Right, because see, guys, setting up a business uh, is not so easy. It's a daunting task. You have to do everything on your own. So yeah, there you go. Now I have some pictures that I'd like to show you. This is Jacinda, Prime Minister of New Zealand, a great lady. I admire the way she handled the coronavirus situation. Shows that she is nothing but an iron lady. Okay, and she was the one who was the first one to close down the airports. She said, "I'm not going to take any chances because I have researched about it, and I know this is going to spread like wildfire." And she closed all kind of ports, airports, seaports, and she took all the necessary steps. And now, as we speak, there are zero cases of coronavirus in New Zealand. And she's been there for 2 years, and she's established so much. When she came to power, she was pregnant. Uh, and still, I mean, she's a new mother, and I also have a daughter, and I know how difficult it is, but she's doing an amazing job. So she makes me feel really proud. Now, just think about the qualities that she has. Because, see, for me, every leader is different. Uh, Now, the population of this world is 7 billion. You can say there are, 7 different billion leaders because everybody has a different characteristic. Everybody has a different way of doing things, right? So, this is Jacinda. For me, she's a great lady. Martin Luther King. I just love him. I also have a frame here. I keep it in my on my desk. So he is an African leader. Um, he fought for civil rights, and he was one of the first black leader in America. And you know what it is to be a black leader at those times, because I mean, I don't like the word black. Really, really, you should use African. So they were Africans were bought, and they were not treated properly, and they were made do really really bad jobs. But then he rose up and he showed that that I mean I mean, he can, he gave a lot of hope for people of his generation and ethnicity and culture, that yes, you can rise to this level. He's very educated, and he fought for civil rights. And if Barack Obama became the president of America, one of the reasons is because of him, because he made a pathway, he made a road, right? Because Barack Obama, I'm sure he was inspired by this gentleman here, that if he can do so much, then I can also be a president, right? So he inspires me a lot. He inspires me a lot, being a part of inferior group. But you can see this person was different. He was also from the political side, and Jacinda is also from the political arena. They're both different leaders. They have both very, very distinctive quality. There we go. Steve Jobs, my favorite. Whenever I do, I just think about him in terms of business. I think he's inspired me a lot. I mean, I'm a great fan of Apple, and they have changed the industry, right? That's what I feel. They've changed the phone industry. They've changed the desktop, laptop industry. Whatever they do and with a certain fashion, with a certain class. So that's Steve Jobs for you. And he was kicked out from his own company because he's crazy. He thinks about crazy ideas. He thought about Mac 20 years back. Mac was not making any profit, and that was one of the reasons he was kicked out, because he was using a lot of resources. Money was not coming in, and yeah, he was kicked out from his own company, and then he started his another own company, which is called Next, and then he came back to Apple, and then he developed iPod, iTunes, and the legendary iPhone. It's a very old iPhone, the legendary iPhone. And iPhone changed everything, right? How you use smartphones, and then came apps. So it all came from him. And he had cancer when he was doing the iPhone or iPod or iTunes. He was sick. And when he was sick, all these crazy ideas came to his mind. And that's why I admire him and adore him and love him so much, right? Okay. Again, he was very different than these leaders. Think about it in your head. Okay. Both are from Apple. Why do I have him? Because after he passed away, he was the one who took the baton, who started running it. They were from the same company. They worked for 20, 25 years. But the styles are entirely different. Okay? He just cares about making great products and selling them at a high cost, and make profit. That's what he cared about. He cares about making great products, making profit, and also care about the environment, right? And he's made really, really great changes. He made Apple 100% recyclable. He cared about the employees. He made really great changes. And I also like him a lot, because it is tough to take to take this position from Steve Jobs and be there successfully for the last 8-9 years. And Apple is a trillion-dollar company because of this man here. He's a genius in operations, right? So yeah, I just wanted to show you different kinds of leaders. And then we have this crazy guy, Elon Musk. Again, I admire a lot. Tesla, think about Tesla. No car companies could make an electric vehicle that looked good, that looked as beautiful as Tesla, right? Because electrical vehicle means small vehicle. It'll not have much power. But this man changed it. He also invented PayPal, online payment. He was the first one. So there we go. And then he created Tesla, SpaceX, right? Crazy guy. So and he made all these things possible. He has a lot of startups. So as you can see, all these leaders are so different to each other. Yeah. So if there are 7 billion people, you may have, if you consider that, there are 7 billion people, there are 7 billion leaders, and they'll have, or everyone will have different qualities. Yes. So there we go. Um, we've talked about this. So what are the characteristics of leader? So effective leaders needs to have a positive image, right? They need to be genuine. They need to be realistic. Here they've talked about Richard Branson. I like Richard Branson too. There we go. I have a book about him, Richard Branson. Um, he has a lot of companies. You need to be realistic. You need to be positive. That's one characteristics you need to have. You need to identify the core of the problem, because in the book it's also mentioned about Steve Jobs. When he came back to Apple, he saw that they were making 350 different kinds of product, and he said, no, we are not going to make 350 products. It's a lot. We will just focus on 10 products. So he focused on the core problem. He identified the core problem. সবসময় বেশি জিনিস করলেই যে ভালো না, you have to narrow down. And he brought out 10 products, and he started by launching the iMac, iPod, iTunes, iPhone, right? That's how he started. So yeah, you need to identify the core of the problem. You need to have a vision and commitment, right? If you have any questions, you can write. We can put it down. I was really into this. Great class, great class. Let's go ahead. And studies also suggest that leaders are good in some field. They're also well read. They're out of ordinary. They're different. They have ideas about different things. If you think about Bill Gates reads, I don't know, I think 30, 40 books in 1 week. And he has knowledge about everything, every little thing. A book that is not read by anyone, he reads it. So think about Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. Think about Anita Roddick, founder of Body Shop. They're just different, intelligent, excellent communicators. And they are expert in one field. They're very well read, well educated, right? অনেকে বলে ডিগ্রি থাকলে কিছু হবে না, বেশি পড়লে কিছু হবে না, স্কিলস থাকা উচিত। Yes, I agree. Skills is necessary, but then you need to have, I feel, you need to have a degree. You need to study for 3-4 years. And you need to be aware of certain things, okay? Leaders are also very creative. They're very innovative, creative, doing things differently, in an artistic way, innovative in a different way. Okay, they tend to seek new solutions to new problems. Like, iPhone came out. Before that, you had just Nokia. Nokia was just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it was boring, right? It was outrageously boring. And iPhone came and changed the game, right? In 2 years, they made a phone which was completely different. It had a big giant screen, and you had to use apps, and it completely changed the game. So Apple and people at Apple thought in different ways. Tesla made electric cars. If you look at the dashboard of a Tesla, it's not like any other normal cars. It doesn't have anything. It just has a tablet, and from that tablet you can control the car, right? And leaders often have the ability to sense change. Okay, when things are changing, they can sense it. Oh, things will change, and therefore they will also change themselves, right? Think about all the big companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, or Facebook, or Levi's, or any big companies. They all have changed. Adidas and Nike, they all have changed because the market changes, and in order to stay within the parameter, you also need to change as a brand or as a company, right? Otherwise, things will not happen. So the characteristics of leaders, uh, ability to motivate others. They should be, I'm sorry, the writings are small. I will make it big next time. Ability to motivate, they change direction when required, they solve problems, they have a lot of self-confidence, right? They're self-motivated, always, okay? They have a certain sense of responsibility, personal integrity, okay? They focus on completing a job, they accept responsibility, and they have a vision, okay? So we've talked about all of these. Now, there are different kinds of leadership style, okay? The first leadership style I will talk about is autocratic. Autocratic means there's no two-way communication, right? I will just command you that, okay, Zavir, okay, Renuma, do this, do that, and you will just do it. That's autocratic. There's no two-way communication. If I tell you something, you will not be able to give me feedback. Okay? Instructions are just obeyed. Autocratic. I hope you've done this in O levels. Okay? Um, so, yeah, that's autocratic. Uh, Sometimes the motivation level will be down for the junior subordinate, but then this is applicable for the police, for the army. I've spoken in my last class that, in army, the experts will take the decision at the top. You don't need to consult with each other. If anything happens to the country, if army goes to defend our country, a junior subordinate will not take any decision. A junior army officer will not take any decision. A junior army officer will wait for his superior to make the command. Same with police. So that's autocratic. There's no exchange of information, right? Okay. Uh, so yeah, there you go. Now, so that's autocratic, right? But then again, there may be people demotivated, right? So that is autocratic. Authoritarian, only commands are passed. There's very little teamwork. Then comes democratic. Now, democratic means you can communicate. There is a two-way communication, right? You can make decisions. Everyone is involved, and motivation level is quite high, right? Now, it can be persuasive, it can be consultative, right? You may, let's say you've made a decision, but you can persuade your employees to take that decision. Okay, so you will talk to your employees, you will persuade them that why this is good, why this is right. Or you may also consult with them that, I have decided to do this. What do you think of this? Right? You will take their account into views. Okay, so there's a two-way involvement, and decisions are made together. Motivation level is high because everybody feels that they are a part of the company or they're a part of the organization, right? So you can persuade them, you can consult with them, okay? Uh, and democratic leadership style is seen as very effective. It's being used everywhere nowadays in all kind of companies because you have public involvement, people are better educated, and they need freedom right now. Since people are well educated, you don't need to pass on commands, you don't need to run behind them Khali piche piche ghurte hobe na, because they're well aware of things, so they can make decisions on their own. Okay. um, and sometimes research tells that when you interfere too much, people may not work properly. So just leave them, let them work, let them decide, talk to people. So democratic leadership style has become the trend of the 21st century. Okay. Because people are committed, people are motivated, new ideas and creative ideas come out. Okay. So there you go. But however, problem with democratic leadership style is different people may have different opinion. That's one. I think it's not given in your book, but I can tell you, you can just write it down. Different people may have different opinion. There may be arguments. decision making will be slow because এখন আমার সবার সাথে কথা বলতে হবে. So it's going to be slow. Sometimes in company, in emergency situation, in urgency situation, in urgent situation, you have to take quick decisions, right? So there we go. So yeah, that's a disadvantage. So we've talked about autocratic. Autocratic means there's no two-way communication. Only command is passed. It's used in army, police, government offices, civil service, right? Little teamwork. People are less motivated at the bottom. Okay. But then this works in certain situations like the police, army, right? Democratic means two-way communication. Everybody talks to each other and motivation level is high. Everybody feels involved. Participation level is quite high, right? You can persuade the employees. You can consult with them, okay? Democratic leadership can be persuasive. You have taken the decision, but then you can persuade them. And then consult, okay? Take their idea. And then paternalistic means you will listen to everyone. You will listen to everyone, but then do whatever you feel is right. That is paternalistic. Okay? Paternalistic and democratic is the same, but then you listen to everyone, but then you do whatever you feel like. Okay? So what you're doing here is you're taking everyone's information, you're understanding it, you're processing. Okay? You weigh out the pros and cons. You look at the good and the bad, and then take a decision on your own. আমি অনেক সময় এটা করি. And this kind of leaders are called paternalistic. Okay? And there has been a lot of paternalistic leaders. Cadbury-te chilo, Joseph Towntree and George Cadbury, founder of Cadbury. So yeah, there we go. They are paternalistic. So they used to listen to everyone. They used to listen to everyone, but then do whatever they felt like. Okay? Yeah. Let's say you want to make 10 houses in a certain area and you take ideas from all your employees. You will take ideas, but then you will not listen to them. You will weigh out the advantages, disadvantages, and do whatever you feel like is right. Okay? So there we go. And then comes Lassosphere. So Lassosphere is a French word. It means get on with it, okay? Lassosphere is a French word. It means get on with it. It means a hands-off approach. Now, this works in certain industries. Okay, before going ahead, democratic leadership is used in banks, in marketing firms, in most of the companies, right, nowadays. And Lassosphere, what happens is that it especially works in music industries, film industries, research centers, where you need a hands-off approach. Let's say I have to make a video. I need 2 weeks to make a video. Now, I cannot every day show you what you have done because it's a creative job. I need to go back and do work on my own. If I'm making a music, I need a month time on my own. Yes, I will get back to you. I will show it to you, or I will speak to you about your requirements, but you need a certain gap, hands-off approach. If you're doing research, like I've done research in my bachelor's and master's, and we had a supervisor, and we used to meet our supervisor after every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. He used to give us some work, and we used to do that work on our own because it was research, a lot of work to do, and then do সপ্তাহ পরে নিয়ে গিয়ে দেখতাম, দেখেন এটা করে নিয়ে আসছি। কোনো কিছু যদি রং হতো তখন বলতো যে আচ্ছা না এটা রং, এখন কারেকশন করো, আবার কারেকশন করে আবার দেখাতাম। So it's a hand-off approach because let's say you're designing something, making music, doing research, especially in the creative field where you need a lot of time, you use Lassosphere leadership style. Okay? But you cannot use this with everyone. You can use this leadership style with people only who are experienced, right? People who are self-motivated, people who are matured. Otherwise, this may not work properly. People may not be capable of handling their projects on their own. Like when I was young, 21, 22, I couldn't handle projects on my own. I would, defy all the deadlines. But now, if you give me a project and if I'm on my own for 3, 4 weeks, I will do everything on my own, right? Because I'm more matured, I have more experience, right? So that's Lassosphere. And guys, you need to understand these 4 leadership styles very properly, because this will come in the exam. Okay? So make sure. So we've finished our target today. We've finished more than 20 slides today. We've done great. We've done amazing, right? So think about autocratic, think about democratic, paternalistic, and Lassosphere. Okay? We've talked about the characteristics of leaders. Think about it. It's in the book also. And I've shown you some pictures of different leaders, how they're different, the distinction between management and leadership. Great. It was a great class. If you have any questions, you can write your comments here. We had a lot of viewers. Yes, all the classes are posted on our Facebook page. Please follow our Facebook page, Fyruz Education Services. You can also add me on Facebook. I don't have a fan page, but I have a personal page. All the classes are also posted on my personal Facebook page, Fyruz Khan. We also have a YouTube page, Fyruz Education Services. So yeah, thank you very much. I will see you soon. Thank you.